Welcome to Zidam Astrology. Join me on this journey for your tarot and patra readings, your birth charts inclusive of chakras, crystals, and runes. Sign up, share, and subscribe.
Okay, Fire Trine, this is Zidam Astrology bringing to you your analysis for the period September 12th to the 30th on your card and your tarot spread. And usually we start off with, what is the situation that you're currently facing? What is the goals, the finances, your career, your relationships that you find that you want to think about or are thinking about for this period, or the messages coming from the cards. And the first card that you see here is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles speaks to building a business, building your reputation, becoming a master of what you are doing, having the expertise that is required for you to achieve your goals. And it comes through dedication, commitment, a craftsmanship. You're building that reputation. And this is what you are doing at this point in time, because you are concentrating on your success, your financial security. You want to achieve your goals. And when the Eight of Pentacles comes through in a reading, it indicates a time of diligence and dedication. It tells you that the effort you put in will not be in vain, as your hard work will pay off, and you will get the rewards of your accomplishments and goal. And when this minor arcana card appears in your tarot reading, it also indicates that you are methodically working towards something you want. It might seem a little boring, a little routine, a little mundane, or even you can be relentless at times. You are focused, but you are on the brink of achieving great success. So don't give up. The skills you are learning will bring you that expertise and that mastery of the craftsmanship, or the goals, or the financial success that you are looking for. The skills that you are learning at this point in time will stand the test of time. It will stand the test of time in the future for you, because your foundation is reliable, it's strong, and you are confident from achieving your ambitions with the Eight of Pentacles. And what led you to this position? What is the heart of this situation? Your desires, your hopes, your fears, your challenges. And it comes from the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is all about new beginnings, something new, possibilities, as it were. You may have a little a breakthrough, as it were, clarity, a new idea. That as with all the aces, the Ace of Swords indicates that you're about to experience a moment of breakthrough with something, because the sharp blade represents not only your intellect and your intelligence, it also gives you a bit of power, where this Ace of Swords has the ability to cut through nonsense. It cuts through the deception, the untruth of people, as it were. It is a sharp blade, and with your logic and reason, because you're not thinking with your heart, you're thinking with your head. It represents the moment where you can view the world from a new perspective. You have a new point of view, as it were. It's a place that's filled with nothing but new possibilities. It is the best time to work on your goals, as all the aces, especially the Ace of Swords, gives you the green light, and it's a signal for opportunities that are waiting for you in the wings, that are giving you new beginnings. So work hard, continue to work hard, and those new beginnings and those possibilities are there in front of you. And what is your attitude right now? And the attitude you have right now is a little bit of fear, a little bit of stress, a little bit of anxiety. You might be overloaded, because this routine has been going on for a while with you. This routine has been giving you a little bit of headache. It's mundane, but you were relentless through the Eight of Pentacles. But the Four of Swords is telling you, listen, in the midst of all that hard work, all that dedication, all that diligence, You need to lay down, take a rest, forget about the wolves at the door. Things are going to protect you. And what it is going to protect you, your dedication, your diligence is going to protect you. While the diligence and dedication has been giving you a little bit of stress, it is also going to protect you. And it's going to protect you from yourself, because you need the rest, you need the peace and quiet, you need a little bit of sanctuary and solitude. Contemplation is on the horizon for you. That take that rest, that your character and attitude has to reflect um, that mental capacity to deal with the overload. And this tells you that the issues you are facing are actually not as bad as you believe them to be, and that there are solutions available. So that it suggests, the Four of Swords suggests that you are allowing negativity to set in and becoming so overwhelmed that you cannot see the woods for the trees, as we see. This card is more to do with your mental state, and that just the problems that you are facing. So relax, regroup, and contemplate your situation in a calm, rational way. If you leave aside your fears and logically plan for the future, you will find a way forward. The Four of Swords indicates that you are in need of the peace and quiet and rest, and it is a card of recuperation and probably sometimes hospitalization. It signifies faith, or receiving support and counseling. So take that rest, Four of Swords. And what is the advice the guides are telling you? What is the solution? What is the future? What do you have to let go of, and what do you have to hold on to? And this card is the Three of Pentacles, and it speaks to apprenticeship, learning, studying, building on success, teamwork, collaboration, probably teaching and learning for you to get that recognition and reward. And the Three of Pentacles is a positive card to get in a tarot spread. It represents dedication, commitment, so that whatever you are doing at the moment, you are likely to be giving it 100%. It also signifies building on success or foundations that are reliable. You have worked hard to overcome your challenges, and the effort you have put in should be paying off. So this Three of Pentacles is enabling and supporting the messages from the Eight of Pentacles in the situation that you are facing. And the Three of Pentacles is enhancing that situation for you and telling you, yes, you're on the right track. So what will be the outcome of all of this, fire trine? The outcome is the Three of Swords. And now the Three of Swords is usually looked at as a card of heartbreak and betrayal and loneliness. But I don't think that the Three of Swords in this respect is heartbreak and unhappiness. It might be a little upheaval, and what you might have is a little bit of conflict or misunderstanding from those that you are collaborating with, or even yourself, because this Three of Swords is all about your logic and your reason. And your reason is probably telling you that because you are focusing so much on yourself, and you needing some time, or you needing to focus on the goals that you want to achieve, that you have left other relationships behind, or that you have left them on their own for a long while and haven't been paying attention to them, so that you're a little conflicted that you're not doing the right thing in your relationship, probably with your partners, and that little bit of heartache and sorrow is permeating um, you at this point in time. But you need to think about the goals, you need to think about what is happening with you and why you are doing what you're doing. What is the outcome that you wish to have? Is the outcome and the little bit of heartbreak that you are going to feel as the outcome um, reason enough for you to carry on as you are carrying on through the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles? Is that a good enough reason for that message to continue with you? And the Suit of Swords connect to the element of air, and air is intangible, unseen. It can be sharp, it can be fierce, but it can also be clear and transparent and carries many messages. And I don't think that it carries the message of heartbreak or or depression in this respect. It carries probably a little bit of misunderstanding and conflict, as I said, and the swords embodies the balance between intellect and power, and our capacity for thinking with logic, and how we experience things around us. It can translate into constructive or destructive action. So which will it be for you? And I think it is constructive in this arena for you, and that it tells you that you can seek solutions to the daily struggles, and it could elicit a warning to remain cautious. But I don't think it is destructive. I think it's constructive for you, Fire Trine. And let's just get a little clarity on this through two goddess card. And in this way, we have the goddess of truth, Asaseya. And this is the goddess of truth as it's a card that proves your credibility. It deals with the earth. It deals with evidence of honesty, and you being truthful not only to yourself but to others. And Asaseya is the upholder of truth, where lying is a taboo, and that if you lie, you are committing a transgression or a sin against this goddess, because this goddess is all about joy. She's the goddess of the earth, fertility, procreation, and farming. And as the goddess of the earth, she is credited as being the nurturer of earth, and is considered to provide sustenance for all. So this is just giving you that clarity, that the Eight of Pentacles is telling you the goddess of truth is there on your side. The goddess of truth is helping you with your resources. And sometimes Thursdays are reserved as the day of this goddess of joy. And there is a thing that on Thursdays, the people who who revere this goddess generally abstain from work on a Thursday. They don't till the soil or the earth or farm on a Thursday. They take rest. So that this is the Four of Swords being given a new light here, and telling you that the Four of Swords message is quite right. Take a rest, because as the goddess of the earth, Asaseya is telling you, take a rest. Asaseya is also the goddess of peace, and meaning that when there is war and human blood is intentionally spilt, every substance and sacrifice is needed in order to appease Asaseya, who is the mother of the dead. And as the mother of the dead, she is the one who comes to fetch people's souls to the other world. And it is her name that is the first offerings that are made to the ancestors. So in the message of the Four of Swords, when you take that rest and you take that mental counseling, it tells you that probably speak to your ancestors, pray to your ancestors. And we usually pray to our ancestors in Amavasya, or that fortnight of the new moon that is coming through just before the new moon. So that this is again telling you, take that rest, and you need to allow Asaseya, the goddess of joy, peace, and the goddess of earth, to bring you that help, and that spiritual counseling, and that rest, that relaxation, that meditation that you require for you to be nurtured, and not bring about destruction as the Three of Swords, but construction. And then we have as a further clarity from the Vedic astrology, we have tolerance. And tolerance is all about being worthy of a message that is bringing you um, contact between the senses and the perceptions, and happiness, and tolerance is telling us. And there's a message on these cards, and it's coming through in the Bhagavad Gita, and it's telling us, the message here is coming through, O son of Kunti, the contact between the senses and the sense of objects, it gives rise to fleeting perceptions of happiness and distress, and these are non-permanent, and come and go like the winter and summer seasons. So, descendant of Bharat, who is another name for Lord Krishna, one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. And it tells you that the human body houses 5 senses, the senses of sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. And these, in contact with their objects of perception, give rise to sensations of happiness and or distress. And none of these sensations are permanent. They come and go like the change in seasons. Because although cold water provides pleasure in the summer, the same water gives distress in the winter because it's cold. Thus, both these perceptions of happiness and distress experienced through the senses are transitory. They are impermanent. They are just fleeting. So that if we permit ourselves to be affected by them, we will sway like a pendulum from side to side. We will not be stationary or focused. And a person of discrimination should practice to tolerate. And this is where tolerance is coming from. So that person should practice to tolerate both the feelings of happiness and distress without being disturbed by them. And what does this clarify? It clarifies the Tree of Swords, because the Tree of Swords could be constructive or destructive. And the deities are just telling us at the end of the day, be tolerant, be happy, take that mental rest. You are on your way to seeking and achieving those goals through collaboration and teamwork. Yes, you are going to have distress and happiness, but it's transitory, it's in transition, it's impermanent, it's temporary, it's not going to last forever. So take the messages from the card and work towards these goals, Fire Trine, for the period September 12th to the 30th. And this is a good reading for you, Fire Trine. It really is a good reading. So stay focused, stay on track, and all will be well. Bhagwan's blessings has brought us at Zidam Astrology here once again to Fire Trine. You're giving your reading, giving your analysis for the period September 12th to the 30th. And I always thank him and seek his blessings at the end of these readings for allowing me to transfer that knowledge and sharing with you the messages and the divine interventions that may be pertinent to you for this period. I thank you once again for joining me. I ask that you sign up, you share and subscribe, and understand that my tutorial videos are still there after this message, so that you can continue on with the video to see or learn more about why I do what I do at Zidam Astrology and the clarifications that you may require in terms of the language being used or the method that I utilize at Zidam Astrology to bring these messages to you. So thank you once again. Okay, this is just a little synopsis of the fire signs Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius as an explanation for the terminology and what the concept of the fire signs give. And I've spoken about this in previous videos, I've spoken about it in previous tutorials. So I just ask you to, read through these, look at it, understand that the fire signs are the most energetic of the three, and you'd find that you would find energy, warmth, and optimism from Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But fire can be passionate, it can be dynamic, it can be temperamental. So this is just a synopsis, as I said, for you to understand. Should you have any questions, any queries, you can always drop me a line at zida55@outlook.com, or check my blog at zidamastrology.com and leave a message there for me.
Okay, this is your tutorial. As I mentioned to you in this video, that I'm going to leave a tutorial so that you can see why I have formulated the trine concept to read horoscopes at Zedam Astrology rather than read individual signs from Aries to Pisces for you. And I've found in my research and in my reading and from my teachings that there are commonalities between the tarot and the Kundali, which is your birth chart in Vedic astrology. So that these are the commonalities that have aligned together, that have created a method that will utilize the tarot and Vedic astrology to read and analyze for you in the trine concept. And this is a Kundali or birth chart taken randomly on somebody born on April 21st, 2022 at 6 a.m. And this person's birth chart or natal placements are here for you to see that these are the placement. This is the fate of this person. This is the ascendant or lagna, as we say in Vedic astrology, where we say this is the first house of the 12 houses in the zodiac sign. So wherever the ascendant or lagna falls is where we denote in Vedic astrology your first house. And in this particular chart, we go clockwise from Aries to Pisces so that we'll know where your first to 12th house falls. So your first house is Aries, your 12th house will be Jupiter. And each house in Vedic astrology denotes something. It denotes your wealth, your family, your siblings, your relatives, your children, your marriage, your father, your mother, your work, your career, your community, your luck, your spirituality, your illnesses, whether it's chronic or routine, you know, how you will earn your money, how you will lose your money, a multiplicity of things. And each of these houses has its significations that we read for you in Vedic astrology. So this is your natal chart. This is your fate. You cannot change the positioning of these planets in your Kundali, because this is the placement of the planets when you were born, the time you were born, and the place you were born. However, you cannot change fate, but you can change destiny. And destiny comes from the transit of the planets, because each of these planets, they move from one sign to the next during particular periods. And you can change your destiny through your freedom of expression and will, through your ambition, through your courage, so that you can change destiny. You can't change fate. And the transit of planets will give you a chance to change your destiny. And transits, planets move, as we see here, Saturn every 2.5 years, and so on and so forth. This is how planets move from one sign to the next. Neptune takes 14 years to move from one sign to the next. Mercury takes 1 month. Sun takes 1 month. And you will see these are the 12 planets that I deal with at Zedam Astrology, so that they are the ones that I look at and how they move. And every placement of a planet in a particular sign says something, does something, has an aspect on your natal planet, and it throws out potential or a pathway for you to understand what can be happening. You know, it is the natal chart is a map of what the sky was like on the day for us to know ourselves and to better understand the types of energy we have available for each moment and situation in life. And because of the transits where destiny can be changed, we can say that this placement is not decisive, but it shows options and it marks pathways in which we can utilize to make choices during our lifetime. And then we have the source code of astrology, and that FEAW is basically fire, earth, air, and water. Those are the trines that I look at, and the 4 elements are the source code of astrology, and they are the blueprint of your soul. You know, you become the architect of your destiny by using this blueprint of our soul. And the blueprint of our soul, one of the trines that I use, because it's the foundation, You know, one of the trines that I use is the Dharma Trikona. And the Dharma trine tells you that, you know, this is the trine that keeps us on the soul's mission, the accumulated merit and the manifestation of past karma. And this 159 denotes the houses 1, 5, and 9. And as you see, we have fire, earth, air, and water trines. So this is the source code of astrology. And tradition holds that religious duty or dharma is the primary aim of human life, since it is the foundation which you develop your wisdom and your discretion to pursue wealth, which is artha, which is another trine, happiness, karma, which is a third trine, and we pursue these wealth and happiness from the wisdom we get from dharma, so that we will not compromise our chances of liberation, which is moksha, which is the fourth trine. But I use the first trine because it is the foundation, it is the primary aim of the of your birth on this earth. And Hinduism describes the Dharma trine as the natural universal laws whose observance enables us to be contented and happy and to save ourselves from degradation and suffering. So that dharma is the moral law combined with spiritual discipline that guides our life. You know, and this is what the dharma trine is. And I'm just going to pull up another version of the zodiac circle, the 12 signs, and I'll just give you an example so that this random Kundali or birth chart gives you Aries as the ascendant. And with Aries as the ascendant, that will be the first house. The first house will be Aries, the fifth house will be Leo, and the ninth house will be Sagittarius. And this is the trine. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is the fire trine. And with the fire trine, even if your first bhava is Leo, then Leo will be your first house, Sagittarius will be your fifth, and Aries will be your ninth. You will still remain in that trine if your ascendant moves from Aries to Leo or Sagittarius. And remember, your ascendant moves every 2.5 hours every day from one zodiac sign to our next in Vedic astrology. And then we have the earth trine, and the earth trine can begin with Taurus. And if it begins with Taurus, then you would have as your fifth house, you will have Virgo. As your ninth house, you will have Capricorn. And this is your earth trine. Then your air trine will be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. That is your air trine. And obviously your water trine will then be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, so that all your signs are taken care of there, as you see. So these are the trines. And why I do the horoscope in trines is because Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, when one is activated, each of these are activated because they are in a trine. They are in a dharma trine, a dharma, where your duty, where your vision, where your wisdom are all created for you to understand that first house is you are born, then fifth house is your children, and the ninth house is your father. So you get the circle of evolution. Your father produces you with your mother. Your mother helps you throughout your life. When you are an adult, then you produce children. And that is where you get this circle of evolution, so that the dharma trine here is what connects each of these three signs in the zodiac. And then we have the tarot deck. And the tarot deck, as we know it, has wands, pentacles, swords, and cups. And you will see that the wands is with fire, the pentacles is earth, and swords are air, and cups are water. So that here now we have the commonality between the tarot deck and the zodiac astrology, the source code of astrology. So that, you know, this is what I find with the commonalities. There are so many other things that I can speak about, but this is the basic. You know, this is the basic. And if we have to talk about, you know, a tarot spread, you know that my go-to tarot spread is the Tetractys. And the Tetractys tarot spread comes from that Greek philosopher Pythagoras, who threw out for us the Pythagoras theorem. And he, you know, he can be viewed as a Vedic Brahmin, because three of the things he did or believed in was that he wore white exclusively, he was a vegetarian, and he believed in reincarnation. And his theorem existed in the Sanskrit texts in India. So that, you know, there we have the commonality again. And then even so, the tarot deck, the fire is clubs, pentacles is diamonds, swords is aligned to spades, and cups is aligned to hearts. So this is where we get the commonalities. This is where I can utilize a union of tarot and Vedic astrology to bring you a complex issue, but a different take on reading your birth chart, because you cannot live by yourself, you weren't born by yourself, and you can't grow up by yourself. There is a community, and that community brings the trine, so that you feel comfortable if you are in the fire trine with people from Leo and Sagittarius if you were born in Aries. Likewise, it goes so for the other trines. So this is my research, this is my method that I use, and I hope I was clear, complete, and concise. I ask that you share, sign up and subscribe, review my videos, look at my transit series, and I will join you next time. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the trines synergy in Vedic astrology and tarot, you know, how they complement each other and how they have that symbiotic flow that works well with the marriage that I'm bringing to you. And trines are considered positive in Vedic astrology, as energy flows easily between the planets in trine, so that when you activate one, the trine is activated. So when you activate Aries, Leo and Sagittarius are also activated. And if you have planets in those signs, or planets or grahas posited in the nakshatras, those nakshatras with their relative deities and energies are activated, so that this brings more good luck, creative abilities and opportunities in one's life in the areas that these planets affect. Trines are the houses of Goddess Lakshmi. And remember, in Vedic astrology, houses or bhavas do not only start at Aries. They can start anywhere, be based on your ascendant or lagna position. And these houses form trines in a tarot reading, those that are at the angles of 120 degrees with each other. The trine in the tarot series 159 signify the present, the past and the future, which is the person himself, his children and his father. So 1 is you, yourself, 5 is your children, and 9 is your father. So this is the circle of evolution. So this is how the tarot and Vedic astrology are symbiotic in terms of the trines. But we also have in Vedic astrology the Kendra Bhavas, which I am not dealing with at this point in time. But you know, it's just for information, for you to understand the level and depth that Vedic astrology can go into, and the many tools that we have at our disposal to assist in your reading or your Kundalini and birth chart when you request one. And these Kendra Bhavas, it enhances the internal strength of an individual. Think about the pillars, you know, the 4 pillars of a room, which are holding it up. That is what these Kendra Bhavas do, you know. This can be the another analytical tool for your birth chart depending on your specific needs from Vedic astrologies. And Kendras are the houses of Lord Vishnu, just as the trines are the houses of Goddess Lakshmi. And these houses are related to stability, security and savings that overcome the limits of Goddess Lakshmi, which is related to the progress and development of a person but lacks stability. So these houses are 1, 4, 7 and 10, and this is just for your further information.